because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Gareth, what is that face?
It's a bosh face.
Bosh. That's like a Russian.
I
sounded like Jamaican.
Wooshki.
First of all, Big John, thank you very much once again for having me in your house today for a fantastic podcast. I made a brief cameo and ate some cat food, which ain't good, but it was a good podcast tonight with Gareth and Spencer, wasn't it?
I forgot about the cat food. Listen, our Chinese sit-down's a little bit different. People just come round and we want them to experience just eating in our house with us, like a family, like friends would do. And everybody that's come round now, the Chinese, they leave us friends. We knew Gareth a bit before, we knew Spencer a bit before, but now we'll be friends. So they're welcome.
Everyone leaves with being our friend, but not everyone leaves having cat food. So that's a new first for you.
Privileged. Obviously, I think it'll be a couple of weeks before this goes out, maybe a week. But how was it with the one and only Gareth A Davies, with all his Chinese tools and equipment, and the Omen, fantastic story, and Spencer Oliver?
I just said, first of all, talk about Gareth. He's standing next to us. Such an interesting human being, and you can never have enough talking to people like Gareth. You know, there's always stories to tell, there's always the places he's travelled, unbelievable, but his knowledge as well with his career, with what he's done, and to have Spencer, you know, what Spencer's been through as a boxer, when you've got a son that's boxing as well, just brings home the dangers of boxing. And to sit there talking to him, he's experienced it, he's lived through it. It's just a great combination tonight. It's brilliant having a pair of them on.
Johnny, I know you was on TalkSport with Gareth on Saturday night. Post-boxing career, is that something you'd like to go into?
I'd love to go into something like that, a bit of punditry or just being around boxing still, because it's something I love and I enjoy. But being around Gareth, you can see how effortlessly he done it, because he's the one who's pulling all the strings when that show's going on. It's easy for me or a guest to come in, talk for 10, 15 minutes, go on Gareth's lead, but he's making sure it stays interesting all the time, keeping it all flowing all on time. So it's great to see. It's a hard job to do, but he made it look so effortless.
But the first thing you said when you came into the studio on Saturday night was, "Oh my God, I'm living the dream." And I thought, perfect. This is someone that wants to do this.
Yeah,
you're not dragged in thinking, I have got to sell myself. No, and I've got to say, I think you're a natural at it.
Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed every minute.
Although I think Gareth thinks that we've dragged him in now because he's been here for about 4 hours, so I think he's ready to go home.
Yeah, we'll keep this short. But Gareth,
rinsed. Rinsed. I didn't get warned about this by my agent.
Gareth, how refreshing is it to have someone like Johnny? I know we doing what we do, like my job, your job. Sometimes it can be a chore to get the fighters to talk, but with the likes of Johnny, the family, their kind of accessibility around the media and their willingness to do it, it's refreshing for us, isn't it?
Trust and accessibility in this job are enormous. And having done it for 32 years, I will never forget when I see Johnny walking to the ring and I watch his parents across the ring, and if I'm working, I'll never forget I've been in their house, because this is hearth and home. This is real. And as a journalist, which I am as well, to be invited to someone's home, to be trusted, genuinely means so much. Because you don't get that. I remember going to Martin St Helens, Murray's house, years and years ago. Yeah, well done. Yeah. And I know Martin well. And I went home with Martin, I met the family. He's even ironing his jockstrap in the garage, ready for training the next day. Yeah. But there's tiny details that you see about real life for people.
But you say about being a journalist, right? We don't see it like that. We just see we're doing something we love to do. You're a nice person, you're our mate now. This is just, you invite someone into your house, it's natural what you would normally do anyway.
It's not normal. I've been to other people's houses, but it's not normal to get the opportunity to do that. And what I'm saying is, it creates a level of trust you know, people say, "Well, why are you telling me that?" I'm telling you that because I'm your friend.
We're friends now.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
friends. We're friends. And there's no better way to make friends than over a Chinese, Joe. As you know.
100%.
I'm about 4 stone heavier now, by the way.
You're back to your old weight, Gareth. You're back to your old weight.
Hey, I had, what do you call it, I had triple dips tonight.
Yeah,
I had a back quadruple. I was picking all night over here.
I only had one dip.
That was a big dip, though, John.
But I only had one dip.
Can I just hasten to add, I had 5 spoons of curry, not 3.
You're only supposed to have 3 and you went the extra mile.
Well, I was waiting for it to hurt.
Yeah, but Gareth. Until you've had a cat treat, then don't talk to me, mate.
No, I think I'd have left at that point. You're a mug for eating the cat food. End of. Would you have eaten the cat food?
Cat food.
Yeah, you nearly you were shaking poorly.
Yeah.
Even when you were drinking the water. You were drinking water and you got it like that.
Mate, that looks wrong. That looks wrong.
You shook less when you interviewed El Brook.
Well, that's something else shaking, but we'll leave it there. We just to get a little bit serious. I'm shaking again. But to get a little bit serious, we was talking about how far Johnny can go, and it's all he's Henry.
With who?
El Brook. Have you tried it, mate? No. In all seriousness, in all seriousness, right? Success is relative. Johnny's success is relative to how far he goes. And we was talking about it isn't about world titles. It's about his growth and his development. So, just from your perspective, Gareth, what do you make of Johnny as a fighter, and is it in your mind him important to do to progress?
I think you answered that tonight.
I did. I said it over dinner.
Yeah.
The truth is we don't know. Yeah. But from my experience of being around sportsmen of all kinds, remember I've done 8 Paralympics. I remember meeting Tim Henman when he was 17.
Yeah.
Do you know what did it with Henman? I called it the Henman handshake. His hand was straight in your hand. You just knew, and it was a look in the eye. When Johnny came in, I knew there was something about Johnny. He's got an incredible self-belief and a presence about him. And we've seen what he's done in 8 fights. I don't know about his amateur career. I haven't watched that. But when he came in off-air on Saturday night, he was with me for 3 hours in the studio. When we talked off-air, and he said, when I was at uni and I played rugby, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke. I was dedicated to my sport. It tells me that this is someone who deep inside themselves really believes. And it's someone who can get up from a fall. We're yet to see that. Yeah. To get up from a fall and rise again. And he's got it all. And he's got the X factor. We talked about that tonight, didn't we? About following, opportunity, getting recognition, creating the hordes that follow you. He's ready to make the next step. Yeah. You've got probably 2 stages before world title, British and European. Yeah. And then you wait for the opportunities. I want to see him going against a Fury in a year's time or a Usyk in a year's time. We're talking about world titles in, what do you know, 28? 24. 24. Maybe in 3 years' time. I didn't realise you were that young.
I understand the severity of the task that's ahead to get to English level, to get to British level, before you even contemplate European, Commonwealth or world level.
There's a time, isn't there?
Will Johnny will go as far as he possibly can, having a good time while we're doing it, meeting good people like Gareth, and hopefully coming out with all your faculties and your health intact. That's the most important thing for boxers. As we spoke tonight, health is the most important thing.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. I think whoever does watch this podcast when it does go out will take a lot from that, obviously from Spencer's experiences. He got it firsthand, but we all want to go home. We're all tired, so we will finish it there. But just a quick word.
I'm going to double dip now.
He's double dipping. He's double dipping. But just a quick plug for the podcast.
Big John Shiny Sit Down, episode 8 with Gareth and Spencer. You won't want to miss it, I'm telling you. It's and intriguing. Listening to this man talk, just different level. Yeah, different level.
Thank you very much for having me round tonight.
Always a pleasure.
I'll certainly invite myself back when you got another big boxing.
There's plenty of cat food here, I've heard.
Yeah.
Seriously, just get out of our house now.
We'll finish off with a quick bosh.
Joking.
Bashki.
Boshki. Oh, that's a new one, John.
Bash.
There we go. Thank you very much, boys. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,